Hello, and welcome to my playground. This is the Mad Chemist Church or Church McGurch, depending on where you know me from, and welcome to Madman Review. Today we're looking at Sengoku Dynasty. I am guessing that's how you pronounce that, as Sen, S-E-N, could be Sen, could be Sin, could be Son, could be anything, and then Goku, which is a character from Dragon Ball Z. So I'm just guessing it's Goku. So Sengoku. And then obviously Dynasty, which is in English. But as you can see, this is a Japanese game that obviously takes place sometime in the Sengoku Dynasty. If you couldn't tell, it's Japanese by the background. So this is a city building survival game. Open world city building survival game. This is not my cup of tea. I love open world survival. I love survival games. I love any kind of game that has difficult combat where you actually have to think and try different strategies. But I am not a fan of the village builder or city builder aspect. Like I used to play the city builder games back in the day. Never really was like a fan of them. They were fun. Not a big fan of them. So this is where my spawn location is. I really missed my chance here, and I just named myself Church Son because that's what when we had Japanese investors into one of my companies or one of the places I worked years and years ago. That's what they called me when the Japanese companies came over to do their like walkthroughs and inspections. They would walk up and they go, Church-san, Church-san, hello, Church-san. And it confused the shit out of them because they had no idea. They looked at me and they're like, Church? Is that your name? Like, no, that's not his name. It's a nickname. And a lot of them would be like, nickname? Like, what? Like, why would you call yourself Church? That doesn't make any sense. It's a hilarious story that's always tickled me because every time they'd come back, they would always just call me that. They'd always be super confused. But so this is an open world village city building. You got to tell people to do things, and the seasons change. And depending on the season, depends on what they can and can't do. Flowing water. Obviously, it's winter, so I touch the water. I'm now freezing. You have different things, like different kinds of temples, people who work the shrines and temples. You have a tea house where you can perform a tea ceremony. People can perform tea ceremonies. A temple bell. More shrines to different gods. A temple well where people can drop coins and prayers into. All of these are structures that somebody can be put to work to, and that increases that the village's spirituality. Spirituality. Obviously, if as anybody who's watched these reviews before, or if you're new to my reviews, I am not a builder. This is not my style of game. I won't spend too much time on this review because of the fact that I play this with my wife. She is the builder. She is the manager. I go out, I kill things, I bring stuff back. She builds, she arranges things. There's a hair trap at the end of a season. That hair trap, there's a bunny in there. You get some meat and fur. But my wife is the builder. She's the one that arranges things. She does that. I go do the stuff she can't do. She is not good at fighting. She's not good at combat and the kind of the knowing what's better, like weaponry and stuff, and The hunting aspect, she's decent at, but she's still not that good. But she's the one that designed all this, and she's assigned people. You can go around, each person can be assigned to a workplace. Each workplace gathers something different, and then they put it into a storage, which this is a storage that's linked to all storages. So that's what makes this better, is that every storage is linked to that exact same storage wherever on the map you are, and it's all crafting from storage. So if I need to craft something, or an NPC needs to craft something, if it's in the storage box and not in your inventory or someone else's inventory, so these workstations, these storages, food storage, if it's in here, anybody at any crafting or cooking station can use it anywhere on the map, as long as they have a storage facility in the vicinity. So what I mean by in the vicinity is, this is your town bell. Your town bell tells you all your different things, like 1 day remaining until seasons change. Change is possible, so you can fast forward through time, or you can let it just happen normally. But when the season changes, that's when everything happens. That's when merchants restock. You can sell to merchants. Merchants sell off their items you sold them. You get new stock. You get new merchants. You get new refugees. Because this is kind of a war-torn feudal Japan during like their civil wars. And it's obviously, this is winter, so this major lake here that we built off of is frozen. I can go out here and I can harvest ice. The fishermen ice fish, so they come over here and they fish and get ice. They get fish. They make nets to catch fish. Nets for other things. You have mining or fishing. Or mining over there. You have different people wandering around because their job is typically done, or they're not assigned. You can talk to them. Some of them have dialogues. Everybody's named. Housing for them, because they have to have a bed for you to recruit them. So basically all these people I found as refugees, I recruited them. They come over, wells to gather water. You'll need buckets. You'll have people make buckets. You can have people make armor. You can now make stuff like this, then go sell it, or the NPCs will take the item and then go harvest with it. Repair stand to repair your items, which, to repair an item, it took me forever to find this out. To repair an item, you have to break it first. Once it's broken, then you can repair it. That's something I think the developers should change. I think I should be able to repair it at any point in time. So they're all cooking to make food for the village. Or medication, that's another thing. Here's another, I forget what this is, the tailor, so that they can make clothes and leather. A paper maker, so that you can make paper. Pretty much paper is used for just kind of like as a luxury or to sell. And as you can see, it's winter, so we don't really have that luxury of making paper. Because I'd rather have people, or like my wife and I, would rather have people collecting ice, because ice counts as a luxury, and it counts a lot more than, say, a piece of paper. So here's all the different storages. Another cool thing is you can get these trash piles, and then at the end of the season, these trash piles will randomly generate items, and then you can come and collect like whatever the villagers threw away, and you get free stuff basically. Beverages, you can get different kinds of beverages. That's oil, obviously not a beverage, but it's in the beverages. That's a healing compress. Don't know why that's in here. Not really a beverage, but you can do like teas, medications, cooling drinks, energy drinks, warming drinks, healing balms. So this is all kind of stuff that they'll consume water for either crafting. You can also make sake, but sake is used for like everything. So, you can catch yourself on fire. I forgot about that. And then you can go in the water and cool off. But this is where you make, like, you can cook rice, and you can make the mold that's used for fermenting into sake, and whatever this is, shochu. Yeah. Fermenting, all the different storages. You can make cold drinks, hot drinks, all kinds of different things. And all this stuff you don't really use, but your people use. And then here's a forge to make forgey things. The one thing I don't have, because again, I wanted to get this review done before we finish the game, and this is just a shed, so you can kind of access everything. Kiln, fertilizer, lumber mill, and stuff to make straw, drying rack to make straw, ice place so you can store ice. Ice is like the only thing that has a durability on it, but it melts. And if you put it in there, it increases the durability a lot. Guard stands. You can get these guard stands where you put a guy on it, and he'll guard. He or she will guard. There's also the hunters' lodges. These hunters' lodges, which I think I've already shown off. They have a hunt. They have a guard stand up here, so this is like a 2-in-1. You can have people hunt, but you can also have someone guarding. As it stands, the only thing they do is they pick up weapons. They don't pick up armor. So armor typically is only for really selling or for you to wear. Paddy fields, so water fields, normal fields. That is pretty much it for like this village, showing off like this village. So now if we go to the map, each map shows you a different region of the map. Green means I've conquered it, and as you can see, it'll also tell you like what I've discovered and different things I've built. Like I've built them, like I built this watchtower here, this watchtower here. There's a shrine to a fox here. There's a question mark here. Some stuff here. There's a village here. There's some outlaws here. Some outlaws there that I can go kill. Stuff I've built, bridges, towns. Now the other thing I wanted to show, because I wanted to do the review before going in and doing this. This shows you, like you can see here, liberation benefits. I've obviously liberated it. It's green. If I put a village here, I can get clay, paper trees, premium, decadus, and fruit trees. Here, same thing. Iron, fruit trees, premium. Iron, sand, clay, premium. Iron, tin, copper, copper, tin, iron, premium. Here, if I liberate it, I can get iron, sand, clay. I unlock the forge, which is the only thing I'm missing. But I did this on purpose because I wanted to put this in the review to show everybody this is what it looks like when you haven't conquered an area, and then liberation conditions. So it tells you need to build the swamp lighthouse. You need to defeat a number of pirates, a number of Ronin, and then a leader. So this here, and a leader this here. So the Ronin and the pirates are just like a tier of enemy. And like, so there's samurai enemy, there's the Ronin enemy, the pirate, the thug, yada 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 yada. And then there's also animals you can hunt and skin. I wanted to show you, and then when I go and I liberate this, so essentially all I have to do is go kill these 2 bosses, and I now have liberated the entire map. You see there's a legend here. There's my health, my stamina. And then I get like the master work items, like the master katana, the master kanabo, yari, the tanto, and the naginata. And I believe it's snowing. Yes, it's snowing. So there are weather debuffs, being too hot, too cold. I have a straw cloak. This prevents me from getting too cold. As you can see, keeps the wearer warm and dry in the cold rain. Works for snow as well. Yes, my face is not covering it up, so you can see my health, my stamina, my food, damage, armor, poise, encumbrance. Encumbrance affects how fast you move when you attack or dodge. Poise is how much stamina you have before you're broken, and you basically get stunned. Does work. Mail delivered. Package delivery, probably. Your armor. So I have a samurai helmet. I have a Menpo mask, samurai armor, samurai shoes, and of course this is my accessory. Since it's winter, I'm using a straw cloak. Then we go by weapons. I have a master katana I got off of a boss. Steel Tonto that I made. Omiyari, which is basically just a steel pike, a longbow, steel pickaxe, steel axe. Steel knife, steel Oz, steel comma, iron shovel, because that seems to be about as far as you can get is an iron shovel, a steel hammer, and an oil lamp, which seems to be about the best light you can get. I want to real quick show off, because you can only build, you can kind of handcraft here. Doesn't really give you much, just the basic stuff. You can get like a spear to throw. Quick menu. This shows you, do I just go empty-handed? Do I equip one of these tools? Katana, the Tonto, the Yari, bow, empty hand, and then the arrows that I have equipped. I have master arrows because I got those off of the boss as well. Status just kind of shows you if you have any negative status. My money. Legend shows you Way of the Craftsman, Way of the Leader, Warrior, Monk. There doesn't seem to be too much of like a cap on it. It's just how much XP. The only cap you get is the Way of the Leader, which quests, which you can see I've pretty much finished all the main quests. Pretty much finished everything that you can do, because this is a game in early access. So pretty much the only thing you can see is your dynasty. Your dynasty caps out at about level 20. You can have about 4 villages, and you can have about a population of 100. 1 unemployed, 90 working. This is what I was talking about. So you have people craft stuff. When people craft things, they give you a percentage. Like, I'm producing 7,000 units, I consume 5,000 units. Health, I'm producing 6, consume 3, yada 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 yada. Currently, I am only producing 2,500. I'm consuming 2,700 out of the luxury. But I have a storage of 2,000, so I'm not hurting. So my happiness is going up, is ticking up slowly. Raid chance, they added their last patch. They added raiding, so you can get raided. So as you can see, I just was recently raided. My largest enemy presence is that. My dynasty wealth is that. My security lowers it. So at this point, there's no chance of me getting raided. You can then look. These are my villages. This is my population and what they're doing, how happy they are, what jobs are available and what they could be doing. And then priorities. Priorities is where you can go through and you can tell people, like, stop using rice. I have rice uncheckmarked, so they're not using rice to eat or cook. They are eating the solid fish meals. They are using the kayu. They're using all this stuff. And then same thing with heating. They're going through and they're using oil to heat. They're using sticks to heat. I have charcoal turned off because you need charcoal to make steel. You need firewood to make charcoal. Paper bark to make paper. You need bark to make charcoal. I believe bark is also used in beverages, certain beverages. Same thing here. I have sake turned off because sake is used to make a bunch of stuff. It's also as a luxury, so they have sake turned off. Maintenance. People need to upkeep the buildings. So we have all this stuff. They're making chiseled stone. They're using the chiseled stone. We have clay. This is like top tier plank wood, so I have it turned off so that they won't use it, and so on and so forth, as you can see. Map. And then, of course, knowledge shows you pretty much everything you've seen, little references on stuff, hints, guides, little videos. So this is a pretty decently and well thought out game. I'm about to end my day, as you can see on my compass on the top of the video. You can see the compass. The compass kind of tells you where things are and if you're headed in the direction of something. Like there's a question mark there. More than likely, this guy is going to be. This is either going to be. Looks like it's going to be enemies or a merchant. Looks like it's going to be a merchant. Nope, never mind. Enemies. So you follow it, and eventually, as soon as you get close enough to discover what it is, right here, I'm gonna parry. So you can see his blue bar. Every time I parry, his blue bar goes down. That's his poise. As soon as he loses his poise, as I attack him, he gets stunned. No finisher, so there's no way to be like, while he's stunned, just one-shot him. But as soon as he's done, I can take it, loot. This site here will disappear and spawn randomly somewhere else. Here's a bridge. I can't remember if I built this or if this was kind of one of those, because you can only build inside the ring of the bell. But then there's other stuff that's like broken that you fix by telling your villagers to go fix it. But you'll find these camps. These camps will randomly spawn at the beginning of every season, and once you kill them and loot them, that's pretty much it for the rest of that season until the next season. Then you have like the comma. See, there's all this grass, and I can harvest this. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff. You can see there's another enemy camp over there. You can see it by the question mark. I don't want to spend too much time on this because, like I said, I play this game with my wife, and this is a game where as time ticks on, things happen. So she might have been building something, she might have been doing something, she might have been adjusting things. As you can see, when I went to Dynasty here, you see my luxury is negative 146. She might have been working on that, and by me playing, I can reload an old save, but I don't want to, because I haven't really done anything while I've been standing here, so I guess I'll just reload an old save when we go to play it again and to like beat it, because like I said, this game is in early access. This game looks amazing. Early access though, so there's still a lot of bugs, there's still a lot of stuff. It's a fun game, I'm not gonna lie. I've enjoyed this quite a bit. There is fast traveling, so you can fast travel to any of the places you've been that have a fast travel point or a bell. I will show off real quick. You get 4 towns, and so I have each town set up in different spots to gather different things. Like I'm in the temple region. We have our harvesting stuff. This is all basic stuff that you would see in any village. But the whole point of this is to get more resources for the village. And on top of that, if I go to my map, I'm here in the temple. So we have lumbering this area. We have people here harvesting iron ore, so we have a constant steady supply of iron ore. And fruit trees. We have people here doing a constant steady supply of fruit trees. So we have fruit tree lumber. Now I can go to my next village, and as you can see, we also have guards here just in case, because these villages can get raided. As you can see, I have also named my towns Kappa Town, so Turtle Town, Ryujin Town, Dragon Town, Tengu, which is bird, so Tengu Town, and where is, I believe I'm in Kitsune. Yeah, I'm in Kitsune Town. Kitsune Fox. So I just named them all animals, all in a mythical being. So here I am in Eastern Swamps. So we have people gathering iron, sand, and clay. So, and then we also have people fishing down there. But mostly this is so we have iron, sand, and clay, because you need the clay for repairing buildings, and you need the iron sand to make the I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's like Tamagari or Tamagutsuri steel, which is the steel that is used to make like the masterwork items. So the basically the kind of like the meteorite steel that they used to make katanas out of originally. And then of course Capitown. This is here to do tin and copper, because even though I'm on iron and steel stuff, you still need tin and copper, because to get the steel, or to get the iron, you have to make bronze tools. So obviously you gotta have copper and tin to make bronze. So that's what they're doing in this village. They're foraging and they're gathering copper and tin, and then they're making bronze, and then the bronze is used by other people to make bronze tools. Here's one of my guards. There's another guard tower. So there's a guard station, guard tower. But they're using that to then make some wells, just so there's always more stuff. But then they're using the bronze tools to get the iron, and then we get the iron to get steel, to make the steel to make it, because it takes steel to get the fruit trees. So there's like an actual chain of production that you have to do. Let's go back. Let's show off a random. Let's just pick this town. So all the towns pretty much, they look different, but they're all pretty much the same at the same, at the same time. They look different, but they're at the same time. So each village kind of has a different layout, but it all looks about the same. You can see these guys over here. These are merchants. You can walk up to, trade, or talk. And then they have different things depending on the season, how much money. And then I can just be like, sell, keep that because this is luxury. This is spiritual. This I can sell because I killed an enemy. I don't need this weapon. And then this, I need grass to turn into straw. But I can sell them, either I can clear them out of money, or I can fill up their entire inventory. But once this inventory is full, there's no more selling to them. I could purchase stuff back from them, like different sakis, waters, anesthetics, mosquito repellents, burn ointments. I could buy this stuff back from to open up stuff, cooked fish. But that's kind of expensive, and I don't have the traits, which is what I was saying in the way of the leader. There's stuff like I can reduce by 30% how much healthcare is needed. But I have points into stuff like merchants have 90% more money. Heating is not needed as much. Worker production is up 15%. I have traveler outposts where I can fast travel. I can put down posts to fast travel in areas that don't have fast travel points. Since I'm the fighter and I'm opening treasure chests, I have the thing that increases my loot chance. I have a point here that's worthless. Now, this is a point I wanted to bring up, and I saved this for this very reason. I put this point in here not realizing that it only affects me. Because I thought, plus 75%? Wow, that's great. I want that. I didn't read player planted crops only. It takes a long time to do that. I don't have the patience for that. So now I have this point that I can't do anything with because there's no way to get rid of it. This, I've almost maxed out because there doesn't seem to be a level cap here, but these are things I can't get because I didn't choose these profession. Like this, I have to require the builder background. I took the fighter background. I am frozen because the day's about to end. So, yep. And when the day ends, everything gets subtracted, everything gets added, everything does its math. I picked the fighter background, which I don't know. There's a sort option, as you can see. This is how you sort. I don't know if it shows me that anywhere. But the way to tell that I have the fighter background is I have... It's Adapt Fighter, yeah. And I can't get this Adapt Hunter because it requires you to take the Hunter background. So I have the Adapt Fighter and I have the Master Fighter. To skin and get stuff, you have to actually put points into it. But as again, this Warrior XP here doesn't seem to have a cap. And the Way of the Monk doesn't seem to have a cap either. But the nice thing about the Way of the Monk is once you get enough points, you can become a dignitary, which reduces the fast travel costs to nothing. So I believe it's like 10 coins, but when you're jumping around, that 10 coins adds up super quick. And I also have the death penalty removed because I'm revered by the people. So when you die, you don't lose any of your gear, but you lose pretty much all your food. You lose your food and you lose a percentage of your money. You always start at about a quarter health. You lose half your food, and you lose, I believe it was like 10 or 15% of your current money. So I now have that completely removed, where I just lose food, which isn't a big deal. But because of this fact that I have this here, and I can't do anything about it, which I'd love to put that point into something like this, because this unlocks you to basically get merchants. And as I was saying before, you put these buildings out, merchants come at the end of the beginning of the season, so that way I don't have to fast travel here to talk to a merchant. I'll have merchants at my village, and the merchants don't count against your village total. So you could put out a couple different merchant slots and hope that they get filled that next season. So let's fast travel back to my main village. So this one, my dragon village, is my main village. This is where my home is. This is where I typically would say, if I'm the leader of the dynasty, since I am hosting this, this is where the capital would be. I would consider this my capital, because this is the large mansion. You can build yourself mansions. This is the large mansion. This is my home. Let's go real quick before I explain anything else. This is the hammer. Demolish mode, basic structures. You pick. Boom, gives you a ghost outline. You set it down. Then if you have the materials in your storage, whack, 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 you got a building. Cancel it. But there's all kinds of storage. There's all kinds of furnishings. There's all kinds of spiritual things. Cooking pots, baskets, all kinds of stuff that I can't really get into because it's just so much. And I try to keep these, so defensive walls, defensive fences, seating. You could go ham wild. These are the trading posts I was talking about. You need the trade brokers to unlock them. But you could just go ham, hog wild. You need the Zen gardens, so you can make yourself a Zen garden. You can get these special structures, and that's another thing. Once you have the perk, you can unlock it by purchasing it with 2,000 coins. Most of this stuff I've already purchased. Oops. So I can't show you that, but if I had something, like if I had this perk for 2,000 coins, I then could build a long bridge rope. Right now I can just make these without the perk. But a lot of stuff is just kind of like, oh, look at this wall here. Oh, I want this wall, and you purchase it for like 50 coins. And then now you can build it. So it's kind of a way to, bring up some progress or some improvement over time. Or a lot of this stuff is like, oh, just build the medium shrine, and you unlock it. And it's shared. I believe this game can go up to 8 people. So building like that is shared. So if I purchase it, everybody gets it. If somebody builds it, everybody gets the next building upgrade or whatever. So it's kind of that shared because you're all together. Different things: land, field, water, field, special structures, your bell. The only thing that's not demolishable, there's the hair trap. Special project, that's how you build the things outside of your village. The only thing that cannot be demolished is the bell, but it can be moved. I have multiple times picked up the bell and ran across the map to place the bell. To start a new village because you can't demolish the bell, and I don't need to be in that region anymore. So I pick the bell up and I just move the bell, because that's one of the nice things about this game is if I don't like something, I can pull out my hammer and I can go change type, move building. Hit T, move building, and then I can just pick it up and I can just run over here and plop it down. Same thing with the bell. I can just run over here, pick this up, move it over here, plop it down. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to fuck anything up, because I'm not the builder, like I said, and I don't want my wife to kill me. So I'm not going to touch anything because I might accidentally do something and she'd be mad. So I'm not going to touch that. So now if I want to correct this, let's go back to this. Now if I want to correct this, what I'd have to do is I'd have to find a female villager. So this is kind of one of the things I haven't done yet because I don't really feel like I want to. But I could find a villager. Let's take Moku. And I can talk to her. I can ask her different things. Like she might have a quest for me that I can do by the end of the season. She might just be like, "Hey, how's the day going?" But I can also say I really just want to say I really enjoy your company. This starts because she's part of my village. Let's just click this. That starts a kind of a quest line thing with her to basically eventually fall in love with her, and then you have a ceremony to get married. And then as soon as you get married, she becomes flagged as your wife or husband, depending on if you're male or female, obviously. That's how that works. Male or female, wife or husband, depending on what you picked, because you get at the beginning when you do the character creation, you kind of customize yourself. It's not too big of a thing, but you can pick male or female. You go find a husband or a wife, and then you can have the husband or not the husband. Your character will get pregnant, but it won't really show. Or if you're a man and you do get a wife, you can have a baby and it actually will show on the character. And eventually, after I believe it's like 1 or 2 seasons, she'll give birth, or your character will give birth, and then the husband or wife, depending on what your character is, will then take care of the baby for a couple seasons, and then the baby will get to adolescence. And at that point in time, you send the baby off to school in another area, another region. Not here, not in this region, not here. When they go off to school, you have to send them with items and money. And then as they go through school, you have to continuously pay for them, for their schooling essentially. And what that does is when they finally become an adult, they'll come back to you with already leveled. So they'll have a bunch of levels in these 3 here, and these 3 will you can then distribute the points into that character. You can rename them. The only thing that it won't do is you will have your 20 points here again. That's the one thing it won't do because of the fact that there is a cap. There is a cap here. 20 is the cap. Cap. This will just immediately give you 20 points because the only way to earn these points is to do things in the village or do things around the village. So you get a bunch of points here. You get your points depending on how much you've paid here, here, and here. Yeah, because of the fact that the only time to get this is to either level up your dynasty, recruit new people, or build things for the first time, and most of the time it takes all of that just to get to 20. I haven't done this yet. Heating, we're at negative. She'll have to fix that. I haven't done that yet because of the fact that I really don't see a point in it, since that's all it does. It just allows you to reset this and rename yourself. Like, thinking about it, I probably should have named myself Yoshimitsu. And if they do put animal taming in here, and if I can get a dog, I am 100% getting a child. I am 100% taming a dog, and I'm 100% naming that child Yojimbo. But yeah, I should have named myself Yoshimitsu. And if I can tame a dog, I am renaming myself Yojimbo. I can't. I have to. As a Final Fantasy nerd, I have to, and I'm playing a Japanese game where I could wear. That's one of the things that I haven't shown, and I'm going to show that real quick, is like the armor and gear and clothing, which I actually have to go to a place, and I know this review is getting a little bit long in the tooth, but in a game where I can wear samurai armor and a straw hat, so this is just weapons. Not much here to show. The repair bench, you need this to repair the higher stuff. I believe the repair stand can only do like up to bronze, but the steel and higher needs the actual repair bench. There's troughs here to collect water. When it rains, where's the tailor? This is the tailor here. I can come up and I can craft different masks. You can craft. Yeah. With the ability to craft these straw hats and the Ronin Gasa, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. With the ability to craft that and all this different kinds of stuff, and to have a pet dog. I'm dressing myself like a Ronin wandering warrior, and I am walking around with my dog, being a mercenary pay for hire. I have to, as a Final Fantasy nerd. I just have to. It just has to be done. I have to have a character named Yojimbo with his dog, and I'm just gonna walk around fighting people and killing things for money. But yeah, now thinking about it, I'm like, man, I should have done Yoshimitsu. I ran out of stamina. And this is all on normal difficulty too, by the way. You can set the difficulty of your server if you host or play single player. Because like I said, this is a multiplayer game. I play with my wife. We are set on normal difficulty. I showed a little bit of the combat, a little bit of the stuff. Cooking is pretty much here. Like I said, as long as you have it in your in the inventory, you can do whatever. Like I can make with water and fish, I can make oil from here. I can go beverages. I can make myself some. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Some amazake. I can make myself, like, I'm hungry. I've got plenty of stuff to make. Since I'm not going to save, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to make this. It tells me how many I want. I just want one. Or if I don't want to do craft multiple, which is F, I can just click it. I craft one. Kicks me out. Eat it. Nom 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 nom. Hey, look at that. It filled up most of my food bar. Now I'm good to go. And then if I was low on health, I'd use healing items, because that seems... You do heal slowly over time, but the healing items pretty much kick it up pretty high. I think that's where I'm going to end this review, this kind of overview, as it is starting to get long, as this is a long game. I'm starting to get into the point of my normal playthroughs of stuff. But this is where I'm going to end. In case you do get stuck, they do have a respawn, because I've gotten stuck a couple times. And not having the death penalty anymore, like for the penalties for dying, this is a nice button. Because I don't lose anything, I just lose half my health. Whatever. But until next time, you be you, you stay you, and most importantly, adventure on.